Yes, here we are once again. It's noon on a Wednesday, which can only mean one thing. It's time for the High Noon Hemp Show. Various places on the interwebs. Of course, you can find it live and on demand, both video and audio. Video wise, Temptations Beach on Facebook. You can try that. You can try the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel. And of course, you can follow Temptations on Twitter and watch us that way as well. Audio wise, iHeartRadio, and of course the Podbean. If you have Podbean, if you follow things on Podbean, you can find us there as well. Search the High Noon Hemp Show. We are on Google Play Music. They keep sending me emails telling me that Google Play Music is going to die. I have to resubmit everything to Google Podcasts, so I'll be
Oh
doing that
no.
soon. So if you see this later and you can't find Google Play Music, that's because it is defunct. So check out Google Podcasts and look for us on there. I am Joe Clare. He is the man himself. Beach high above the Temptations in Sharonville, Ohio. Beach, how are things in the hemp quarters today?
Definitely high above the Sharonville location. Welcome, everyone, to the High Noon Hemp Show here every Wednesday at high noon on all those things that my partner over there, Joe Clare, just talked about. It's true. I
Indeed.
am Beach. I am here for hemp. That's what we do. Not really much going on in the local hemptations world. We're doing our best to be safe and clean still, as best I can say about that. We are going to be mentioning Planet Everywhere on the show a lot today. If you don't know, Planet Everywhere is my manufacturing company. It is also the name of our retail website, Planet Everywhere. You can spell where, WEAR. You can spell it WHERE, I believe, WARE. WEAR gets you directly there. Planet Everywhere. So anyway, and we've been definitely picking up sales on the website through this whole COVID-19 experience that we're all involved in, that the whole world is involved in right now. And so from Hemptations to everyone out there, just keep being safe. Find yourself a hemp mask. There was a mask study done. And I think the biggest news I saw out of it is those gator things are like, they might even help you get COVID-19.
Oh
From
my.
my understanding of this study that they did, and they did 20 different, and I haven't really looked into it real deep to see what they're doing, and I think there was more than one study because I've seen different schools where these studies were done. So of course they jumped right on it to see which masks were the safest, which is great because we need to know if someone, once again does a study and proves that wearing a mask is better than not wearing a mask and what masks are better, that's a good thing. Just make sure you get yourself, the recommended masks. And if they're made out of hemp, that's great. There are a lot of hemp. I've seen, I think, another company this week put hemp masks on their website. And I meant to find it again, but there was one company that was selling hemp masks in like 12 different colors. And they had a whole menagerie of hemp masks. It was a very earth-friendly website. And I can't believe that I'm just now remembering that I found it. I've been looking at a lot of masks these days, I suppose. We do need to pick up a couple lines of hemp masks. We picked up some cheap ones that just have hemp leaves on them. I showed them last week. But we do need to get some more hemp masks out there. If you are a wholesaler of hemp masks or you know someone that wholesales hemp masks, get them in touch with me at hemptations at yahoo.com. Or any of the various places. They can actually go to the website and contact me through there anyway. Because I keep talking about it, but I need to do it. I need to get those on the shelf. That is for sure, so that we can put them on the next segment of the show, which is the product spotlight, which I like to say 4 from the store, 1 from my door in the product spotlight. The first one, and I suppose we can all probably use a little energy. I don't know if that's true or not. If you're getting out there, just sitting
Here's for me.
around, if you're quarantining yourself and you're not doing much, then you might need a little energy. We got the Can of Hemp drinks, and we just got these two flavors back in. We got the blueberry and mango. I don't think we have the regular flavor right now, but I did just also open up an account with them directly so we can make sure we have everything. They have just a regular plain energy drink, but these are, I believe, have a lot of organic ingredients. Again, my much healthier version of an energy drink, one way or another. And of course, it's got hemp oil in it, and so not CBD. These are non-CBD drinks, just to clarify. I know we have a lot of CBD drinks in the cooler, but this is actually hemp oil that they put in these in the can of hemp energy drinks. The next one is the eco-conscious hats. E-conscious actually is how it's pronounced, I believe. And you can tell this is just your plain kind of trucker hat, and we have different colors as well. If you look at the top of the hat, you can see that there's a brown one. There's actually a natural, so it's basically a natural on natural. And then I think maybe a black one in the back there. I can't quite see it. I forget. But you know, there's just some just good old inexpensive hemp hats, and you know, we're still in the sunny days here in Cincinnati. So if wherever you live, you're in the sunny days, then good old hat always helps. Or perhaps you're just a hat person. I wear a hat because the sun does bother my eyes, but I also wear a hat because I feel like if I don't have something on my head, I'm naked. And I don't know why that is, but it's been that way for most of my life. You know, I repeatedly remember me and my mother getting into it because of my love for hats, wanting to wear a hat inside. She's like, yeah, it's not proper to wear a hat inside. So I went and did some research and found out that at one point, only royals could wear hats inside and were allowed to. You know, it was just this battle of me and my mom deciding if you should really wear a hat inside or not.
Oh, so you think you're royalty? I see.
Yeah, right. You know,
Your hat, your fancy hat.
wear a purple hat. So I get my purple hat out just so I could wear it inside. I think she finally gave up and just quit bothering me about it for the most part, unless we were in like inside somewhere else. If I was in the house, it was okay. Anyway, the next one on the product spotlight is are these bracelets that we just got in. These are all handmade clips. And so really, really nice work, actually, as far as putting these together. And every store should have a little handful. They won't, this is the Sharonville location. They won't look like this probably everywhere else because there was basically one of each style. And so we just divided them up that way. So your store, wherever your store may be, may have different styles there. And so go visit them to find out. And the last one is our local CBD company, not Hemptations, but Queen City. Queen City Hemp. We've been carrying, again, their products for as long as they've been making products, I'm pretty sure, which was longer than we've had our line out. And that's why we still carry all of their products. And they still sell because their customers really get out of their products what they expect to. And so they, you know, they're still quite successful. This is the hemp balm. You know, it doesn't have a whole lot of CBD in it, 100 milligrams, and some other stuff that's really good for you. And I think, you know, people get out of it, again, what they're looking for most of the time. It doesn't work for everyone, folks. The next one, I know I showed everybody the first mask I think I was wearing episodes way ago when this whole started, which was my Lorax mask. But this is the mask I've been wearing most recently, again, made here by Planet Everywhere. But it's got the Ohio with the leaf in it. And the reason I really like this style is because it's got the wrap around the head and the neck. And so you can just pull it down and leave it on and then put it back up when you need to. It's really interesting that most of the styles we're seeing are the ones that go around the ear like that. Whereas I really believe that this one is, you know, again, though, that being said, every time you take it down, then you've got the inside out in public, so to speak. And
Yeah.
so, I know there's mask maintenance care now these days too. I just spray mine down with alcohol every once in a while, and then wash it every once in a while, and hope that that's keeping it clean and doing its job the best that it can. And so there you have it, folks, on the product spotlight on the High Noon Hemp Show. 4 from the store, 1 from my door. And now this is, I've given you a little teaser. What's going on here? It's different.
That's
It's
right.
different. Speaking of hats and not wearing hats.
That's right. If you're looking for summer fashion, if you're looking for good tattoo work, whatever it is, it has it. We have it in this segment. Of course, the beachwear segment. Is it everyone's favorite segment? I don't know. I haven't taken an official poll or anything, but if I did, I would imagine that most people would say that it is indeed their favorite segment. It has fashion, hemp, sometimes drama, sometimes cliffhangers. It has streaks. It has world records. All of that stuff. And is the most important question you'll hear all day. And Beach gives us the answer when we ask him, "What are you wearing, Beach?"
It's true. If you got up today and it's really hot where you are, and you know it's going to be hot, then you might ask yourself, "What are you wearing, beach?" Because today is definitely some beach wear,
Indeed.
literally beach wear on the "What are you wearing, beach" segment of the show. My head hair bandana, I guess you would call it, hair thing. I don't know what to call that. Is made here, planted everywhere. As you can see, matches the shirt that I have on that was on the tank top, which is also made here at Planet Everywhere when we were experimenting with deciding whether we wanted to make clothes, which we decided not to because it's just not fun all the way around. For the most part, it is true. I got some hemp leaves on my shoulders. If you look closely, to the tattoos. Thank you for noticing that they are decent looking tattoos, not gangster tattoo. No, I don't. I'm not belittling anyone's tattoo. I did spend a lot of money on mine, but both shoulders have hemp leaves. If you look closely, big old hemp leaf there. It's kind of a geodesic hemp leaf on my other arm. Anyway, it's not about my tattoos. It's about what I'm wearing. The Island Hemp Wear. These are literally board shorts made for the ocean in Hawaii. Um, you can barely see my Green Springs Technology pen sticking out of my pocket, but it is there with me, as it always is. My I Love Bad briefs, along with my Oasis no-show socks, and a good old pair of Adidas sneaks. So it's really kind of a bright green. If you really want to wear some bright green, you really want to be seen out in public. Maybe you're going out and you don't want people to run into you. Perhaps you want people to know where you are so they can stay 6 feet away. It's
That's
like a
right.
big beacon saying, "Stay away, stay away." Weep, weep. Everyone, stay away. During these times, now you know. What are you wearing, Beach? Not much news. Kind of a slower week in the news this week, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know. There's always something going on.
Come back here. I don't know. Oh, we were talking about. Oh, there's Beach. As we were just talking about before the show, the technical issues, and I'm very spoiled when it comes to these things. But still, I mean, I want to stream a live show on the internet. Is that so much to ask? I don't know. Maybe so.
Apparently it is.
But
Apparently it
again,
is.
wherever you are, if it's in two
If
parts, I'll label it part one, part two, whatever. Again, I have the whole thing recorded in any case so that the audio will be whole and, we do the best we can with
we do,
what we're working
with the
with.
free balance of technology and whatnot, if you do have a live show and you get through your entire show with the same graphics and abilities that we do, please let us know what kind of technology you're using.
That's right. Maybe I just need better internet because it gives me problems.
It's true. It's true. Oh man.
Maybe the internet company needs to be
So
better. Maybe it's their fault. That's what I'll go with. It's the internet company.
everything seems to be weird. It's weird though that it does interrupt the broadcast day on. It does interrupt the broadcast on the Facebook feed, and so
Yeah.
that is kind of weird.
Yeah, the stream went out for a little bit. Now stream says it's fine here, but now Facebook just won't. It just tells me that it will resume shortly. Thank you,
Interesting.
Facebook.
All right. Well, I think I'm back. So we'll get through this news and we'll get everybody on their way on this Merry Hemp Day on the High Noon Hemp Show. As I was saying, Texas banned smokable hemp, um, and now they're getting sued. And so, just like
Yes.
every other state that banned smokable hemp, you would think that they would pay attention to what's happened in the other states. But almost every other state that this happened in, the state has gotten sued and they lose. And the reason that they lose is because you can't say, nobody can, the government, I don't care who, can't say that you can have one form of something and not another form of the exact same thing. And so that's CBD for that matter. Whether it's hemp flower or CBD tincture or CBD dog treats, in all honesty, you can't say that CBD is legal and I can have it in a tincture and not be able to smoke it. And it doesn't. It's not legal, and that's why every state is losing these lawsuits. They're coming up with this moral agenda against smoking cannabis, whether it's CBD or this moral agenda to tell you that it's bad for you in this form, one way or another, whether because we just don't like the idea of you doing it or not. And again, of course, smoking anything is not what our human lungs desire. But when it comes to cannabis, people find that they get the relief that they want from any one of the cannabinoids by smoking it. And if you can't tell people not to smoke cigarettes, then tobacco, then you sure as heck shouldn't be coming at cannabis. We've proven that tobacco kills people.
Yeah.
We've never proven, there's no proof that smoking cannabis or eating cannabis or using cannabis in any way has ever killed anyone. And so, that's another reason why the state has no moral right to claim that this is a safety issue. That's for sure. Because there's no proof that smoking cannabis kills you. And there's sure not enough proof compared to tobacco, and tobacco is once again still completely legal. That's why I'm trying to correct some of the image of Temptations. We're not a sell tobacco. I'm anti-tobacco. The city wants for me to have an extra license to sell tobacco products, and I'm like, I got rid of all the tobacco years ago. We used to sell American Spirits. We used to sell loose leaf tobacco. We used to sell a decent selection of tobacco. And, obviously after I quit smoking and realizing just how bad tobacco or nicotine is as far as a addictive substance, I've tried to phase everything. We don't sell anything. I'm going to get rid of the jewels, and that'll be the last product that we sell that actually has tobacco in it or nicotine, either way. And so, that's the part of the ridiculousness of all these bans on smoking hemp is the fact that you have to, prove that it's unhealthy if that's your reason for banning it.
Yeah.
And what I truly believe there is for every study that could prove that it is unhealthy to smoke it, there's 10 studies that will prove that whatever the person is using it for medicinally gets more benefit out of it there than the side effect that may be caused from smoking to begin with. We'll see how that all pans out. That's just speculation. But as we see more studies and whatnot, I think that we're definitely going to prove these things one way or another. Belgian company ISO Hemp raised a bunch to build a new factory because of the demand for its preformed building materials. And so what they're doing is they're making basically hemp blocks for building. I don't know if I want to call them cinder blocks. Cinder blocks might be specifically something because they're gone. So we call them hemp blocks, stackable hemp blocks for building. Um, and because this company has seen so much demand to use those in building, they've raised a lot of money to build a new factory to develop them. And so good for them. We're going to see a lot more hemp buildings going up in Belgium, that's for sure. Um, charges dropped, drug charges dropped in Wyoming against hemp farmers. The interesting part about this story is that the judge found them innocent. They were found innocent, even though some of their hemp tested as high as 0.6%
Ooh.
THC. Yeah, so zero point 0.3 is the legal limit federally. Um, but the judge still ruled that they were not trying to grow marijuana. They were, in fact, still trying to grow hemp. This was hemp, so they ruled it as hemp. Um, and the prosecutor, once again, the prosecutor was the one who really wanted to go after these people because of the fact that it was above 0.3%. And again, not 5%, not 10%, not 15%, but 0.6 was yes, that some of the plants tested. Um, and so good for the court system. That's a great decision to see. We're fighting to get that THC raised, but again, if the intent is to grow it for an industrial hemp product, especially something not CBD related, then it shouldn't matter once again how much THC is actually in that that hemp, one way or another. Looks like Blake Shelton's going to be joining Clint Eastwood and suing some CBD companies for using their likenesses. I don't know who this company is or if it's different companies, but there's a CBD commercial out there or whatever running advertising Facebook. I don't know where it is. I haven't seen one with Clint Eastwood. And I don't know if I've seen one with Blake Shelton, but apparently this company is using their images to imply that these stars are using their products. And so I think last week I was talking about this on the news that Clint Eastwood was suing somebody, and I got to find out who this company is because they got some major cojones using these celebrities in their ads.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna get some like
One rid of
celebrity
the,
cardboard cutouts and put them behind me and say, look who's
yeah,
here watching
yeah.
the show. It's amazing.
Cheech and Chong are right
That's
here
right.
behind me.
They're not moving. They're fine. They're just really
They're
high.
not, no, they're concentrating on the show. Um, that's right. And so, it's again, I give this company some kudos, and it's probably not, the Blake Shelton one's probably a whole different company that just, it's just shady. Obviously, that's quite shady at the very least. That's quite shady. And the most interesting is how many old people, because that's who they're, maybe not the Blake Shelton as much, maybe middle ground there, but with using Clint Eastwood's image, they're really trying to deceive old people. And that's pretty disgusting, in my opinion, one way or another. I hope that whatever they were selling was actually a good product, so that not only did they deceive the people, but hopefully they at least sent them something that helped them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one way or another. It's an interesting game. Get more information on your CBD company, no matter where you were. Don't go buy a Facebook ad or something like that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Now here's another state that's banning smoke.
But now I think now the Facebook and the Periscope feeds are going to be in 3 parts at least. So I have to go and label in each part. I may take them all down and just put up the full video. I think that's going to be better.
I'm
Beaches
back.
returned. I'm just
Hi,
saying I'm going
yeah,
to.
it's a
I don't.
three-part show.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do instead of labeling all the parts, I'm just going to take all the videos down and put up the full video, and we'll see if that helps people, I guess, at least view the video later because that's the way the audio podcast will be. It'll just be all one continuous thing with the
Yeah,
glitches and the
yeah,
gaps and all that. I don't know. It doesn't happen as much at night. Maybe it has something to do with during the day. There's a lot of people around here on the internet. I have no idea, but I'm definitely going to have to contact my internet provider if it persists. That is a promise. If you're watching, which I know they are, they're big fans of the show. My internet provider.
I feel like it might be on my end too, though, and maybe it's my laptop doing something funny because
It's
it's always me that glitches. You keep running, and I don't know, So who knows?
the stream has gone out a couple times here, which makes me think that it's also mine, which
Huh?
is unfortunate. 'Cause sometimes you just glitch and the stream continues, which I think is your end. But now maybe it's an all around thing. Maybe it's a total internet thing. I don't know. We'll see. But
Well, I have two stories left, and then we'll maybe let everybody go on the way without another glitch, because again, this Louisiana ban on smoking hemp goes as far as making hemp papers exempt from the ban, and so and so and so. I mean, they literally must have said you can't smoke hemp, and then they thought, and then someone said, "Well, wait a minute. There's hemp rolling papers that are completely legal. What about those?" I said, "Okay, we'll make those exempt." And so, again, they're banning CBD cannabis flower, but in the same breath, they're saying it's okay to use hemp rolling papers. Once again, I guess for your tobacco, which is 4 times worse for you than smoking CBD flower. It's just this one's really funny. So I do expect that there will be a lawsuit against Louisiana coming real soon as well. But you can still get your hemp papers in Louisiana. I wonder if the other states that have been. I mean, I wonder if Texas has even considered that. If you're going to ban smoking hemp, does that mean hemp papers? That's a good one. It's the first there. Pretty sure of that. And so, good for Louisiana to bring that to our attention. Hemp papers should be legal. University of Kentucky research finds that a Polish variety called, and I know I'm not going to pronounce this right, Białobrzeskie. It's a variety of hemp. Has the best potential for dual cropping. We like to say that it could be a triple crop sometimes because dual cropping, what they're finding is this specific variety was actually developed for textiles in the 60s by the Polish Institute of Natural Fibers and Medicinal Plants, which I think is brilliant. Why don't we have, why doesn't the United States have some bureaucracy that's called the Natural Fibers and Medicinal Plants Institute? And so they were developing this for fiber in Poland, but it also has high grain yields. So they're finding that, again, the hemp for whether you want to eat it or run a diesel engine with it, the hemp oil is very efficient for the human and the planet as well. And so to see that this will be, hopefully, this will be the next grain crop that Americans start picking up, and then also selling the fiber as a byproduct, because most people aren't doing multi with their plants. They're growing for grain, and the rest of it goes to waste. They grow for fiber. They probably keep the grain for seed, which makes sense. But they don't sell it or make food or oil or anything like that out of it. You can also use the roots of the plant for things. Obviously, you take the fiber, and with that you have what they call the bast or the hurd, which is the small chips that they use for the hempcrete or the wood or any of that stuff. And so you can also get a benefit out of that. There are so many parts of the plant that you can use for something different. That dual cropping is great, but us hemp people, the people that know the plant inside and out, will tell you there should be no waste. I And again, there should be no waste. You shouldn't pile it up and burn it for any reason. You shouldn't, just get rid of any part of the plant for any reason. Tilling the roots back in makes sense if you believe in tilling. A lot of clean farming is actually trying to stay away from tilling these days. Big farming, I don't think we'll ever get away from that. I don't think you could get away from that probably. But if we figure out how to make it more efficient to not till and get the results we want, then I think that's a better idea. And so, sowing the seeds should really literally be sowing the seeds. I know it's not that, it'll never be that easy again, because we're trying to feed a world, a whole planet. We're trying to things with plants that on a much larger scale than we've ever done in the past. That is for sure. But hemp's going to fill a lot of, it's going to help with a lot of that stuff we're going to see once again. Well, nobody's really going to notice, but it's going to do the job. And the good thing about this actual dual crop, so to speak, is that it's coming in at 0.2% THC. So it consistently comes in under the 0.3 restrictions here in the United States. So this is good news for Poland. They're going to be, I do think once again that, well, if you're going to grow for fiber, then you definitely want this, because that grain is just a bonus on top of whatever you're growing for fiber. If you want to grow for grain, then you can rest assured that you may have an outlet for your fiber at the end of the season instead of just stacking. In Canada, they just push it to the side and they burn it, is my understanding, as far as the stalk of the plant and the leaves and whatever is left after they harvest the grain. And again, that's how valuable the grain is alone. But we do, again, moving forward with hemp in this planet, we need to think of it as a multi-crop plant. Use every part of it. Actually, we should every season the farmer should really think of it as a no waste thing. And again, that behooves the farmer, because they should, maybe a little harder to find the outlets, and that's going to be that's the gaps we're also filling in now with processing and people doing fiber and whatnot. And so this plant will help, point people in that direction, to think of the plant more than just for one byproduct at the end of the year, whether it's CBD or grain or fiber or herb bast, building material, more or less, or the roots, which once again, we're finding have benefits therapeutically more than anything. And so, of course, we always love things coming out of Kentucky. Kentucky has been studying hemp for quite a while, different levels of things. And so this is a really neat study, because this should move industrial hemp forward in the United States towards the grain industry, towards the fiber industry, which is something we need to encourage now, because the CBD boom is done. This is the season. This is probably the last year of growing industrial hemp that's going to be, just 90%, 95% CBD, and a lot of it. Next year, we're going to see everybody tone down, because we're going to see the thinning, the thinning of the herd now, because there's just so much. There's so much CBD on the market, and this, that, and the other, that now it's going to be who's going to fight to survive, and stick around. And of course, we're seeing big money come in now, more and more. So obviously, the advantage. We will try to keep our market here in Cincinnati. I'm happy with that. As long as people are happy with the products we provide them, then I'll be happy with just supplying. And of course, you can order our products from anywhere in the world if you really want to. But I'm happy just to make sure the greater Cincinnati area gets quality hemp products, and then I hope that everywhere else in the world, people are providing their consumers with great quality products. And again, it's a lot of weeding out to do, and there'll be good companies that'll be weeded out. as much as the bad companies, so to speak. And there'll be bad companies that'll probably, there'll be some that still survive. Lower quality of standards does not mean you are not going to succeed when you think that it would. Um, and so same advice I give everyone: look for a higher quality of standards in your products, no matter what they are. And that's all I can say on that. Well, we did it. We got through 3 parts of the High Noon Hemp Show here on Facebook and YouTube and all those places that we're supposed to be. Joe's going to mash it up, make it one. So if you're watching this later and you don't notice me disappearing or gaps and me being gone, that's because you were fortunate enough to get the post-production version of today's glitchy show. And as always, thank you, everyone. Reduce, reuse, recycle, make everything else out of hemp. Having temptations.
And we'll see you all next week. Hopefully glitch free, but maybe not.